the fast-paced modern world, where distractions abound and external validation often takes precedence, the path to true peace and contentment lies not outside of us, but within. This inner journey, a quest for understanding and nurturing our inner self, is a cornerstone of personal growth and spiritual fulfillment. Ancient Buddhist teachings offer profound insights and timeless wisdom that guide us on this inward path, encouraging us to embrace mindfulness, self-reflection, and compassion as tools to cultivate our inner world. One of the most inspiring stories in Buddhist lore is that of the Golden Buddha. Centuries ago, in a small Thai village, monks constructed a magnificent Buddha statue entirely out of gold. During an invasion, fearing that the statue would be plundered, they covered it with clay and mud to disguise its value. Over time, the true nature of the statue was forgotten, and it remained hidden beneath its humble exterior for generations. One day, as workers were relocating the statue, a crack appeared in its surface. Upon closer examination, they discovered the gleaming gold beneath. The Golden Buddha was restored to its former glory, becoming a powerful metaphor for the inner self. Just as the gold had been concealed by layers of clay, our true nature, our inner self, is often hidden beneath layers of societal expectations, fear, and self-doubt. The journey within involves peeling away these layers to reveal the radiant essence of who we truly are. In Buddhism, the inner self is not defined by the ego or external achievements, but by our pure, unconditioned consciousness. The Buddhist teachings emphasize that our suffering stems from ignorance and attachment to impermanent things. To focus on the inner self, we must develop mindfulness and detach from the illusions that cloud our perception. One of the foundational practices in Buddhism is vipassana meditation, which translates to insight meditation. This practice involves observing the sensations in the body and the flow of thoughts in the mind without judgment. By cultivating awareness, we begin to see our inner patterns and understand the impermanent nature of emotions, thoughts, and experiences. This insight helps us let go of clinging and aversion, allowing our true inner self to shine. An elderly Zen master once received a university professor who came to inquire about Zen. The master served tea. He poured the visitor's cup full, and then kept on pouring. The professor watched the overflow until he could no longer restrain himself. "It is over full. No more will go in." The master replied, "Like this cup, you are full of your own opinions and speculations. How can I show you Zen unless you first empty your cup?" This story reminds us of the importance of humility and openness on our journey inward. To connect with our inner self, we must empty our minds of preconceived notions and habitual thinking. Only then can we be receptive to the wisdom within. Mindfulness, or sati, is a central practice in Buddhism that involves being fully present in the moment. Often our attention is scattered. We dwell on past regrets or worry about future uncertainties. This mental fragmentation prevents us from connecting with our inner self. Thich Nhat Hanh, a revered Vietnamese Buddhist monk, often spoke about the transformative power of mindfulness. In his book, The Miracle of Mindfulness, he wrote, "The present moment is the only time over which we have dominion." By anchoring ourselves in the present, we cultivate a deep awareness of our thoughts, emotions, and sensations. This practice not only calms the mind, but also creates a space for self-discovery and inner healing. One of the core teachings of Buddhism is anicca, or impermanence. Everything in life, from our possessions to our relationships and even our physical bodies, is transient. Clinging to what is impermanent leads to suffering, while acceptance of change brings liberation. Consider the story of Kisa Gotami, a young woman who was devastated by the death of her only child. In her grief, she approached the Buddha, asking him to bring her son back to life. The Buddha instructed her to collect a mustard seed from a household that had never experienced death. Kisa Gotami went from house to house, but found no family untouched by loss. Through this experience, she realized the universality of suffering and the impermanence of life. This insight transformed her grief into wisdom, enabling her to let go and find inner peace. By embracing impermanence, we learn to detach from what no longer serves us. This detachment is not indifference, but a recognition that our true self is not defined by external circumstances. It is through this understanding that we cultivate resilience and equanimity. Compassion, or karuna, is another vital aspect of focusing on the inner self. While self-reflection is essential, true growth occurs when we extend our inner peace to others. The Buddha taught that compassion arises naturally when we see ourselves in others and recognize the interconnectedness of all beings. One poignant story is that of the Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara, who vowed to save all sentient beings from suffering. Despite his efforts, he found the task overwhelming and felt his body shatter into pieces. From this fragmentation, he was reborn with 1,000 arms and eyes, symbolizing his boundless compassion and ability to help countless beings. This story teaches us that focusing on the inner self does not mean isolating ourselves from the world. Instead, it involves developing a heart full of compassion, understanding that our inner peace contributes to the collective well-being of all. Metta bhana, or loving-kindness meditation, is a powerful practice to nurture our inner self and foster compassion. This meditation involves generating feelings of love and goodwill, first toward ourselves and then expanding outward to include others, even those with whom we have conflicts. By practicing loving-kindness, we dissolve barriers of anger, resentment, and fear, replacing them with feelings of connection and empathy. This transformation not only heals our inner wounds, but also strengthens our relationships with others, creating a ripple effect of positivity. The Buddha's own life exemplifies the importance of balance and simplicity. Before attaining enlightenment, Siddhartha Gautama lived a life of extremes, first as a prince indulging in luxury, then as an ascetic practicing severe austerities. Neither path led to fulfillment. It was only when he embraced the middle way, a path of moderation and mindfulness, that he found liberation. Focusing on the inner self involves simplifying our lives and letting go of excess. When we reduce distractions and material cravings, we create space for self-awareness and spiritual growth. The middle way encourages us to live with intention, balancing our needs and desires with our deeper purpose. The path to focusing on your inner self is a journey of self-discovery, healing, and transformation. Inspired by the wisdom of Buddhist teachings, we learn to cultivate mindfulness, embrace impermanence, and practice compassion. Stories like the Golden Buddha, Kisa Gotami, and Avalokiteshvara remind us of the profound potential within each of us to uncover our true nature and live with authenticity and purpose. As we peel away the layers of conditioning and fear, we reconnect with our inner gold, a radiant self that is free, loving, and wise. This journey requires patience and practice, but the rewards are immeasurable. By focusing on our inner self, we not only transform our own lives, but also contribute to the harmony and well-being of the world around us. The journey within is indeed the most important journey we will ever undertake. Subscribe to our channel, The Inner Compass, to explore more inspiring content on self-discovery, motivation, and the wisdom of ancient philosophies. Let's navigate life's challenges and uncover inner peace together.